guys.
Hi.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Karen.
And together we make up Redbird Vintage Box. And we just wanted to make just a little about us video about the business, answer some frequently asked questions, and give you some tips on how to get the best box possible. So a little bit just personal information about us, so you kind of know who you're buying from. I'm married. I've been married for almost 10 years. I have 2 kids, Harrison and Juliet. Y'all have probably seen Juliet on some of the videos, and we gave her her own little box that she styles for children.
We get them started early.
Yes, get them working, make that money, earn your keep.
Yeah.
She has a lot of snacks. She does eat a lot of snacks. She's expensive. We've lived in Orlando for I don't know, a couple years now, 3 or 4 years now, and that's just a little bit of background information about me.
Yeah, and I recently moved to Orlando from New York about 8 months ago, January of this year, 2019, with my fiance Joe. We've been together for almost 8 years, and he's just is so much to handle. That's all I've got going on in my life.
He's exhausting.
But we moved here from New York so that Sarah and I could work harder on this business, work side by side as I was flying in once a month, which several of our subscribers are familiar with, that, I would fly in for, a few days and style all those boxes and help out. But now it's, we want to,
and what happened is you girls are so amazing, and you post about your boxes and you talk to your friends about your boxes, and we've worked with some amazing girls who've helped us grow the business. And now the business is making enough money that Karen can get paid. and so that's how
a girl's got to eat.
That's how I got to move here. So I'm eternally grateful to all of you, because now my baby sister lives right next to me.
Yeah, we haven't lived in the same state for just a little over 10 years.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. So
that's a little about us. The Redbird business. We've been around for a while.
3 years.
Isn't it 4? I thought it was 4.
No, like 3 years. It's been 3 years.
We've been at the beach house twice.
Oh, okay.
So we're on 4 years.
3 years. Guys, you know what? Time just flies when you're having fun.
I'm almost positive it's 4 years, because I was in Texas doing it, and we've been here for 3 years. So it's been at least 4 years. Been a long time, but we don't really remember that first year, because when we first started it, we thought it was the most amazing idea in the entire world. We were like obsessed with subscription boxes. I had just had Juliet. Yeah, definitely 4 years. So I just had Juliet, and so I had the 2 kids. I hated leaving the house. Literally, I was everything. Groceries were delivered. Everything was delivered, and I also had a little Etsy shop. And I was talking to Karen about my love of subscription boxes, and as a joke, she was like, "Oh my gosh, we should start a vintage subscription box. Like, you should just go ahead and do that."
And she immediately called me and was like, "I'm deleting your comment that you just wrote on Facebook because I don't want anyone to steal this idea, and let's do this." And I was like, "I don't."
I'm quick, guys. If I think an idea is good, I'm gonna bounce on it. And so we worked on it for a couple months to get everything set. And then we have our parents rent a beach house for the whole family every other year. And so we knew that we were going there, because she was living in New York and I was living in Texas. So we went there and we launched it. And we must have sat by the computer for
We were like,
3
it's
hours.
gonna happen. We're gonna sell 500 of these in the first hour.
Nobody. And then we got like an email from a blogger, and she was like, "You want to send it to me for free?" And we were like, 50% off. And so she was like, "Cool." So she got it. And we were like, "Yes."
But let that also just be
a lesson.
I don't want to say a lesson, but for any of you who are thinking of starting your own business, keep in mind this was 4 years ago, and everybody has these ideas of grandeur, but we sat by the computer thinking that we were going to sell out completely, and that
scared that we weren't going to have enough product. Yeah.
And it just didn't happen. So for the first year, it was a very even more intimate, maybe 10 subscribers, something like that. And it was a very intimate it's still rather intimate.
It
we
is.
Still kind of we cap our subscribers.
We keep it low
so that we can give you personalized service
because it's still just us. But then things started changing when, if you girls have been following us, we've worked with Madison, Stewart, Veronique, Hannah, Rachel, who we still have. Rachel still does things for us, and then we have. A lot of our subscribers, Laura, Kate, oh my gosh, I hate mentioning, but it's just, we have girls that, and you also, the girls on Instagram who share, it's,
that just means a lot to us.
The thing is that, guys, that's what's grown us. We don't do marketing. We just don't. We don't typically contact, news influencers outlets or anything like that. We don't do that, and so we're so grateful to you because the growth that we have is literally just based on y'all saying, "Oh my gosh, y'all should try this company. Like they're great," and that makes us really happy. Yeah. So, and I have on here, who we envision the box being for. It's for somebody who, maybe they're starting out in their vintage journey. Maybe they don't have time to shop in the thrift stores or estate sales or scour eBay or any of that anymore, but you still love the unique one-of-a-kind items.
Also people who just, who enjoy getting that personalized service, who like to feel that in this world where you're kind of just one out of millions getting the same subscription box as you are, your friend down the street. Every single one of our boxes is 100% unique and tailored specifically to you. That goes into our service, that we want you to feel special. We want you to feel unique and loved and enjoy the items that we pick out specifically for you, your tastes.
Yeah. And, we have the two boxes. We have the Lorene and we have the Marie, the accessory box. And, the Lorene is one that includes clothing. And those are our two main subscription boxes. We also have a men's box that is less tailored. It's more just, like a surprise box for, the guys with ties and cufflinks and things like that. We have the Juliet, which is the kid box. And Juliet she just picks out, she has a whole bin full of stuff that is, jewelry for kids, like little purses and stuff. And so when one of those orders comes in, she comes in and she picks out a bunch of stuff that she feels like goes together, and she, she's proud of that. We have the one-time purchase Marie accessory box, which is the Marie accessory box that's a subscription, but you pay a little bit more for the one-time purchase because if you subscribe, then you get a discount. And we will be eventually in the next month or two or so doing an actual clothing kids pre-made boxes, which actually that would go into the pre-made boxes. We also have pre-made boxes that you can purchase, that you can see exactly what's in them, but they all come with.
Great for gifts.
Yeah, great for gifts.
So if you see a specific pre-made box, whether it is an adult version or a kid's version, you can know what you're getting as if you are a little worried about this.
Exactly.
The surprise element.
And we will be having our holiday box that will launch mid-November, and we're switching up a little things in there, but we do believe it's going to be sparkly for the holiday box. It'll be a clutch, a brooch, and a necklace is what we think. And that will come back around November, and you can order that for yourself or a friend or whatever. And we do have our add-on shop, which is only for subscribers, but we will be adding another section to the shop that will have some vintage inspired items. Not many, but a goal for the next year or two is possibly getting a
space?
Like a shop, an actual shop that people can come into. Right now, we work out of a home that we purchased in a little historic pocket in Orlando, and so it's like our office, but that's all we do. We work out of here, and
because we were working out of Sarah's home and taking up the entire second floor, and her very patient husband and two children could barely walk around.
It was getting to the point too where it was a little bit scary too, because we pre-pack some of the boxes, and if Juliet and Harrison are like running around and playing, and if they like fell into the boxes, everything would get mixed up, and it was just so But I love this house is adorable, and if we ever get a shop, then Ryan and I are going to renovate it and live here because I love this house.
Other goals for the future.
I love this house.
All right.
But we are going to be having, we're going to be bringing in items just to kind of see what sells, what people get excited about. We will also be listing heavier vintage items, larger handbags that maybe we can't put in the boxes due to their weight, that it's going to add like $10 onto shipping. We are also going to be listing authentic vintage items in there that maybe we paid just an exceptional amount of money for, because something that we're running into is that we go out and we find we'll find an amazing dress from like the 50s, and it's in mint condition and it's beautiful, but it's $50. Obviously that price point doesn't work for putting it in the subscription boxes, but as we grow, I at least get less excited about some of the stuff that can be brought in, that I'm like, okay, well I've seen that before, and I'm finding that I want to spend more and more money on items. If we just keep doing that though, we're gonna lose money, and so we will be adding in a vintage inspired portion to our shop, and also authentic vintage to the shop that is either just going to be heavier weights. It's not going to be items that you can put into the subscription boxes, but we do promise 100% that it's not going to get to the point where like we get an amazing like Juliana brooch or a real emerald ring in a or in a big estate lot that we've paid like a good box price for, and we're not going to like take that and put that in the shop and be like, that's going to be $200, because again, that's part of what you girls get. We pass on the deals that we find to you. I'm just finding more and more that there's some really amazing items out there that I want to purchase. And
because I think at the end of the day, what it comes down to is that so many of you reach out to us and say, I don't have access to vintage, and that saddens us. We want you to have an experience with these items, and if we can get them and then send them to you, it's not necessarily a deal box, but we try to provide you reasonably priced vintage
and occasionally amazing stuff, because we do get in some really amazing stuff. Okay.
All right. Next,
tips for getting the best box possible.
Oh. Wow. Well,
okay. So when you subscribe, so you're like, okay, I love this, I'm gonna subscribe. You go in, you're gonna fill out your style survey. We obviously do sell out. I think that sometimes you girls, you go in to subscribe and you're doing it so fast because you're like, oh, they're gonna sell out. If you do it within the first day, you're usually fine. Take your time on the survey. You cannot go back in and change it yourself. You can always contact us and you can change it.
That is just a thing with our platform, unfortunately, so be as detailed as possible, because we do send you a follow-up email and
put us in your
address book, because sometimes we just don't hear back, and profile will have such little detail that we sometimes have absolutely no idea what to send you, or we just have to go ahead and cancel you because we can't afford to send you something that we feel like you're not even going to like, and then it's we'll get into exchange and returns later, but as detailed, they say less is more. Here, more is more. Send us everything. Create a Pinterest, an Etsy page.
Pinterest and Etsy favorites are like the number one, and a lot of you will say, well, this is my inspiration, and that's a little helpful, but seriously, like make a Pinterest. It's really, I'm telling you, if I can do it, you can do it. I hate technology. I can't stand it. If I can make a Pinterest and an Etsy favorites page, you girls definitely can. And
because you'll tell us that your inspiration is Elizabeth Taylor, and then we'll send you a bunch of faux diamond, gaudy stuff, and you're like, I actually like dainty things.
Yeah. And so, seriously, like it's happened. And also you need to send a link. We can't look you up by your username. Definitely we can't on Etsy, and on Pinterest. Sometimes you'll be like, I'm under Karen Bray on Pinterest, and we'll look up Karen Bray, and there are like 20 Karen Brays, and we can't go to each one of them and be like, oh, well, this one has a vintage board, and Yeah, so the link. Answer that follow-up email. Again, put us in your address book, info@redbirdvintagebox.com.
That email will come to you within 24 hours of you subscribing. So if you are a current subscriber and you're like, oh, I never got that email, or you're thinking of subscribing, or you just subscribed, look out for that email. If we even not reached out to you within 24 hours, again, send us an email at info at redbirdvintagebox.com, because that email is our communication. That is how we chit chat with all of our subscribers to get, their feedback or just changes to their profile or just requests that they're looking for the following month.
And don't ever worry about emailing too much. So many of you will be like, oh my gosh, this is like the 4th email I've sent you. We love it. It's so, you have no idea. It makes it so much easier. Check out, so we post items for request on Instagram, and we also do a YouTube clothing video. Moving forward, all of those, they're all going to be done within like the first week of the month. So by the 7th of the month, it's all going to be posted, and there'll be something that says this is the end of the items available for October, November, whatever the month is for the requests. The best way to request items is to screenshot everything. Wait until everything is posted, screenshot it with your phone, and then send all of those photos to us in an email saying Anna's requests. That is the best way to do it. You can also comment on the photos, which is perfectly fine. I know not everybody likes to screenshot, but we do typically go through the emails first. The emails are the first ones that we go through to set aside requests. So
and with those,
it's just so much easier.
When you're requesting on Instagram for the accessories or YouTube for the clothing, your username doesn't always match up with your name, and we tell you to provide your first name and last 2 initials to help out, but we are growing, and that's fantastic, but several of you have very similar names, and so the last thing we want is to get a mix-up. So we find that email is just that
so
foolproof way to not have any mix-ups, and so that you can get the item that you requested.
Keep in contact. If you're looking for something, let us know, no matter how weird it might sound to you.
We get weird stuff in sometimes.
We do. Make sure that your measurements are accurate. If you're like me, literally your weight can, definitely month to month, it shifts back and forth.
If you're pregnant, let us know. Keep us posted.
Yeah, things like that.
Sometimes we get maternity things in.
Or things that can double as maternity things. And also just mainly be adventurous and try the items out. Girls, we have, I would say, 80% of you like the 40s, and you like forest green and deep red. You like dainty necklaces. You like lockets. You like Rachel style. You like Dita Von Teese's style.
Which is fine. It's a great style.
Fine. The more adventurous you are, I really think the happier you're going to be with your box. Definitely we'll send you things sometimes that are going to be out of your wheelhouse, and you should just say, it's a mess. And then we go into your profile and we write, don't ever send her hot pink polka dots again. But be adventurous, and just know, if you are looking for something specific, if you are looking for a forest green crepe dress from the 40s, you should skip the month and spend the money on a forest green crepe dress from the 40s. Because it's hard, first of all, it's hard to find, but also if we do find items like that, those items that are super super popular, we've got a list. We've got like a whole list of people who are looking for those items.
And I mean, like we said before, every single box is 100% unique, meaning that every single clothing item that we find, there's only one of them. And so we try our best to send you the items that you'll absolutely love. But again, given current trends and what's, popular now, we sometimes don't always get in a multitude of these items. So again, like Sarah said, have an open mind, have some fun with this box. That's what it's meant to be. I mean, we want to give you items that you can wear, as an everyday. But, let's have some fun with this one. That's what it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be fun. Questions. Okay. So,
Okay, so some
frequently asked questions.
What you guys are wondering.
Okay, international shipping. Do we ship to you? The Marie accessory box ships all over the place. Canada, Europe, everywhere. The Lorraine clothing box only ships to U.S. addresses. You may have watched an older YouTube video that said the international shipping was, $24.50 or $34.50 because we kept on raising the price to try to, make it work. It doesn't work. It's just too expensive right now. And I will say we have one subscriber who uses a shipping service. If you want to look into something like that it gives you a U.S. address and then they ship it on to you. We can't recommend that. We can't tell you that it works. We have absolutely no affiliation with it. But if you're like dying and you really want a box but you need a U.S. address, there are services out there that can do that for you. Okay, where do we get our items?
A cornucopia of places. We get them from eBay. We get them from consignment shops, thrift shops, estate sales, donations, which leads us into, can I donate your items to you? Yes, 100%. Thank you. And then another, which is, will you buy my items? Which, sure, we can talk about that. Send us an email.
And include pictures. Include pictures of your items. Include the price that you want for your items. Like, have a price in mind. Whatever price we give you is probably going to be lower than what you're thinking. So, have a price in mind.
So that business
we don't insult you. We don't like talking money. I want you know what you want for your items, and you shouldn't take less for it. But if you have like a whole block of items that you want to get rid of, contact us. Say, I have 30 items. These are them. I want this much money for them. Are you interested? And and we'll go from there. How do we get it? How do we get it right? And this is tooting our own horn because we're proud that we don't get that many complaints, and it's because a lot of time is spent on each person, reading your profiles, going through your Instagram, going through your Pinterest, emailing back and forth. We love you, girls.
And your detailed profile.
Yeah.
All of that combined is how you have a successful experience with Redbird, and that you get items that you love. And then also your feedback. Yeah. So let us know what worked as well as what didn't. Because we will write it down and we'll keep note of it. We're not going to keep sending you crud that you're like, oh my God, she keeps sending me like,
oh my God, except for that one
yellow
girl,
beaded necklaces.
That one girl who I sent clip-on earrings to 3 times, even though it said in bold print, don't send clip-on earrings. I mean, we're human.
We don't keep regular 9 to 5 hours. Sometimes we're styling at 11 p.m. at night. Sometimes we're styling at 6 a.m. And we're just we're reading your profile and it says clip-on earrings or don't send clip-on earrings. And then someone will send you 5 pairs of clip-on.
I don't know what to say. I was so embarrassed.
But at the end of the day, it is just 2 of us, and mistakes happen. And,
Okay, what do we do when we get it wrong? We do get it wrong. It happens. But usually we've created a relationship with you, and so instead of just blasting us on social media and being like, oh my gosh, these girls are, stupid and they don't know what they're doing. You'll usually email us and be like,
no one has ever called us stupid, have they?
I delete those comments. No.
Please don't call us stupid. I'm having middle school flashbacks.
Oh. But we do, but if I don't think there's ever been a subscriber who has walked away not feeling like they were taken care of.
We hope so. We make it right.
Yeah, we make it right.
If we get it wrong, we make it right in some way. We want you to walk away feeling, I don't know why I want to be not bamboozled.
Bamboozled.
I want you to feel bamboozled.
They open their box, it's just a bunch of
I've been bamboozled.
Okay. What sizes? Okay. So this is a question that we get a lot. What sizes do you service? We service all sizes. And this is because when we're out shopping, we don't ever pick something up and go, oh my gosh, this is too small. Oh my gosh, this is too big. The only thing we shop according to
what looks good.
Does it look good? Is this gonna look good on someone?
Is it good quality?
We have girls that are 000s with 22-inch waists, and then we have girls who are extra large with 50-inch waists. I don't think that I've ever had to email anyone and say that we can't.
Well, we'll email you and say that if we don't have something in your, and this is where it falls into, have a wide range of preferences. If you know, because then that helps us style your box more. Given your size, we may not have something in a particular style that you prefer in your size. If that's the case, and we feel like we're gonna end up sending you items that you're really not gonna enjoy, we'll email you and let you know if we're not able to accommodate your size. But yes, we service all sizes.
And it doesn't matter if your waist is 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, all the way up to 110. If all you want is a green crepe dress from the 1940s, and you're going to be angry if you don't get that, we're not going to be able to find that for you. Doesn't matter what your waist size is. If you are way too specific, you're probably going to be disappointed.
But what it comes down to is that these are not vintage inspired items from, Lindy Bop or Unique Vintage. These are all things, that are pre-loved, and
so it's not like we can say, oh, well, we have that in 4 different sizes or whatever. If you guys hear something, it's the washing machine.
We gotta get clothes ready for the next round.
We do wash everything.
We have washer dryer in the house, which is very exciting for me because I came from New York and we had nothing. Except rats. That is true. But now we have spiders. We found 3 spiders in our garage last night.
I mean, that's Florida.
That's real, and that's scary for me.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Our
influencers.
We have Rachel right now who's doing it, and she's someone who we send her the box for free to do something. We don't typically work with influencers. The ones who we had worked with, all of them had reached out to us, and other girls that you see are actual subscribers. Now, we like doing that because I think that it is a really unique experience, and you also have to, we like for the girls to have a history with vintage clothing, that they understand it, because we have had just subscribers order the box kind of confused, and they get in, they're like, this is used. This is like used stuff. And so we don't like to reach out to some people and be like, hey, are you interested in us? Because I think everybody wants something for free. We are always looking for girls, to help share the experience. We look for certain things at certain times of the year, and we don't always look at your follower count. It does matter. Obviously, it's going to matter how many girls are following you, but it's about engagement. You can have 30,000 followers, but if we look at your photos and you only have like 2 comments, there needs to be engagement there, and we look for girls with unique looks. It's not always girls who dress vintage head to toe. Neither one of us. Karen dresses vintage way more than I do. I do a lot of the jewelry, but but yeah. So I mean, if you know someone, or if you're an influencer and you're like, oh my gosh, I've watched this whole video, I love this company, I want to support them, reach out to us, and and we'll let you know. We'll email you back, and we have an arsenal of influencers who have reached out to us, who, we go back to time to time.
And that segues into our current subscribers who might also be influencers, but we want to reward you for...
Oh, with a coupon code.
With a coupon code.
So when we first started, we were giving everybody a coupon code, kind of just like how some of the subscription boxes do, like, hey, share your coupon code. We're too small, and it was just a lot of coupon codes to try to keep up with, and nobody was using them. So it's like we're spending this time creating the coupon code, getting it out to the people, and then it's kind of like junking up our system too, and nobody ever used them. So we stopped. And now if we see that like they have a YouTube channel, sometimes we'll just go ahead and just give them one. Otherwise, we just wait for you to ask if you're a current subscriber and you want a coupon code. For every 5 people who use your code, you get your box for free. And it would be the current box that you have. Like you can't like subscribe to the Marie and then get your free box and say, oh, I want the Loree now. It doesn't work that way.
And yeah, because one thing that we were noticing is some of our subscribers would make videos, and a new subscriber would mention how they heard about Redbird was through this person's videos, and so, you know, we would, you know, reach out and say, oh, you know, you've gotten some people that are watching your stuff. Good for you.
Yeah.
No, do people watch our? No one watches my stuff.
And no, and you know, and sometimes, you know, they don't use the codes. You know, we have girls who who make beautiful videos, and for whatever reason, you know, the people just aren't, you know, they're not using the code. So
use those codes.
Let us know how you found us. Returns and exchanges, we typically don't do them. It's vintage clothing. It's unique. It's one of a kind.
We're spending a lot of time. We're not sending your information to some warehouse.
Yeah.
And people just throw in stuff in a box.
It's on a case by case basis. And we started with no returns and exchanges because, and I mentioned vintage clothing and what it is, because when I had my Etsy shop, what was happening, and it happened like 3 times, is that somebody bought something that was like a party dress, and then like a week later, they were like, oh, this didn't work. And they would send it back, and it was obvious that they had worn it out. And, you know, we're not a rental service. And that's, you know, and that's just something that when we first started, I had told Karen, I was like, I don't want to do it. I think that if we spend enough time, we won't need to. It is obviously a case by case basis. If you get your box and you're like, absolutely nothing fits. Something has happened before where we've sent like an entire wrong box. Like if your box, if there's something wrong with it, let us know. Mistakes have happened. But typically there are no returns or exchanges, but again, customer service.
Case by case, just let us know.
We'll always make it right. You don't have to worry about, and don't ever worry about complaining too, because that's another thing. We get a lot of emails. It's like,
I'm so sorry.
I'm really sorry.
Don't apologize.
The dress that came has a huge rip in the back,
which that like happens maybe like once a year.
I just mean it's just funny when like there's like a legit complaint that we've missed something, and they're like so scared to say it, and you don't have to be scared.
Just let us know.
Skin is thick, like it's fine. My hands look.
We do have to say ahead of time, again, after watching this video, if you've already subscribed, if you were thinking of subscribing, just a quick reminder of what you're getting. And it's, you know, if you are at all hesitant as to whether or not this box is for you, I hate to be harsh, but it probably is not.
Right.
Because of that, no exchanges.
It's expensive. It's not cheap.
If we find that month after month after month you are not happy, we might say this box just may not be for you. Because this is a personalized service. The last thing we want is for you to continuously be unhappy with something that you're receiving, and everybody is different, and not everybody likes the same things. So
yeah. All right.
Cool.
Complaints.
Oh man.
I feel like if one person is thinking, maybe other people are too. That's all. And so again, we're really lucky. We get very, very few complaints. Honestly, and I stopped reading comments on YouTube videos because people would say kind of nasty things sometimes. And one of the things was, that box is so expensive. Like, that's way too expensive. It's not too expensive. It's our time. It's our time. I don't know what to say. Like, you know the price of the box, and like, it has raised. The price of the box has gone up over the 4 years, and it's because we have realized this is how much time we spend per person. And guys, we barely pay ourselves minimum wage to do these boxes for you. It's a labor of love. Okay.
It's not even the styling of your box. It's the amount of time spent shopping, going to the store, spending the time on eBay,
folding all these boxes.
Folding the boxes.
I have
ironing, washing. Sarah is hurt.
From the box.
Sarah almost lost a thumb.
So close.
Putting boxes together. But it's also mending. Keep in mind, I don't want this to seem like a complaint at all, because this is something that, you know, we enjoy doing. Sarah is an expert at the shopping. She's she's an expert at it. And it's something that she just is very good at, and so she's very lucky to have been able to incorporate it into her business. But that's what you're paying for. Like we said, it's not necessarily a deal box. You are getting a one-of-a-kind, unique experience. And that's kind of the way that you need to look at it, is that it's an experience.
And also so much of it is because I like to think of it as like vintage clothing, vintage jewelry. I feel like it's art. It's why I like to collect the vintage jewelry and the vintage handbags, because I don't even use hardly any of it. It's just taking up my entire closet because I go in there and I just stare at it, that it's art. And I can look at a brooch that I bought for $150. And if I show that brooch to Karen might say, you paid $150 for that?
I would 100% say that.
But to me, this brooch I would have paid $300 for it. And that's what this is. It's what are you willing to pay for one-of-a-kind items? And if it's not $125, if it's not $50, then don't do it. And if you can find it for cheaper, it's not the box for you.
If you can find it for cheaper,
oh my God, be
get
our
us
shopper,
the name,
right?
Please get us the name. And if you want to be a shopper for a Redbird, let us know, because holy cannoli, if you can find it for cheaper, we will.
Well, and that's one of I can find these items myself for cheaper. Of course you can. You definitely can.
It just
one
takes
of my
all the work.
biggest pet peeves is when people are like, I found that in my local thrift store for $3. Keep in mind,
found it in our local thrift store.
We did. We found it in our local thrift store for, I don't know, $3 to $6. But keep in mind, we have one shopper, Sydney, who is actually moving to Orlando. So she's still going to be shopping for us, but we won't have her up in Tennessee, finding a whole new slew of things. Keep in mind, it's limited to where we are here for a lot of the clothing. We don't walk into our local stores and find 200 items all, that are good for the boxes. It takes a lot of work. And so even though you can look at something and say, I could have found this for $3 in my local thrift shop, maybe you couldn't have found it in our local thrift shop for $3. And also Orlando thrift shops are way more expensive. It's why we travel hours and hours away to like the small Florida towns as well.
Orlando apparently is like
crazy.
One of the most expensive cities to live in.
It is expensive.
I had such high hopes of moving from New York and saving money.
It's not that
Can I
much
tell
cheaper.
you that it's not that much
It's
cheaper?
really not.
Orlando is expensive. Guys,
Yeah.
FYI, Orlando is expensive.
But,
all right.
Yeah, that's just, it is, that's probably my biggest pet peeve is I could have found the items for cheaper, because it just seems like we know.
Yeah.
We know.
Again, you're paying for the experience.
You can.
You're paying for
if you want to spend the time to do it, you definitely can. And that goes back to that this box is not for someone who's like an avid thrifter, like somebody who really enjoys that hunt and going out and doing it. It's not I don't think that the value would be there for you. Okay, my item has a snag, loose button, missing stone, all of that. This is all stuff that has happened.
Because the mail system's terrible, and they take your box and they just chuck it against a wall, and then something gets.
But sometimes, again, it's used clothing. Jewelry should never have a missing stone. So if you're looking at your item and it has a missing stone, and that stone isn't in the bag with it, like it jostled out in postage, definitely let us know, because that's never gonna happen. Clothing will occasionally have a snag. It will never have like a missing button. Like that's not, the zippers are gonna work, the buttons are gonna work, all that's gonna work. It might have a snag. Might it have a small spot? It might. These are things that we usually write on the comment cards, but that should be expected. It should be expected that the clothing has some life to it. But we're both pretty picky, and if it's not something that we would wear, like we would never send it to you ever. So if you feel like it's like grossly, crazily damaged, obviously let us know. But yeah, like things like snags, an occasional like spot maybe at the hem, like things like that maybe we weren't able to get out. It can definitely happen, and so that's always something to consider. I hate all but 2 items in my box.
You love some, you hate some.
You love some and hate some.
Well, we, the box comes with a specific amount of items. The
Right.
Lorraine comes with 6, and the Marie comes with 4. our subscribers will tell you that they get more than that.
Not always.
But we just, like to pad. We want to make sure that what you're paying for the box is what it's worth. So keep that in mind if you're looking at items. If it's specifically, I just absolutely hate, you missed the mark, you sent me 4 items, let's chit chat, send us an email, let us know where we missed the mark. And again, we'll make it right. But we try really, really hard to make sure that it's a box that's worth it. We're not just throwing some stuff in there.
Yeah, that even though the Marie comes with 4 and the Lorraine comes with 6 items, we came to those numbers because that seemed to be the average of what we would put in a box, and we would say, I would pay $50 for this, and I would pay, whatever. So, sometimes we have 4 items in there and we're thinking, this doesn't look like something that, this doesn't look worth it. And so we'll keep adding items in until we feel like that box is worth what you paid. Sometimes you're gonna not like an item, and hopefully we've added in enough items to make it worth it for you. But again, if we don't, then
just let us
know, because that's really I hate my whole box. You guys are terrible. You completely missed the mark. Reach out to us and we'll
again
take care of
the
it.
whole thing, making it right. Wow, this video is so long.
But
Thanks
it's
for
not,
sticking with us.
It's gonna be way shorter though, because we can edit it.
That's true.
Yeah.
But we do feel like this was important. Thanks for sticking with us, and hopefully we've answered all of your questions regarding the business. If you have any others, leave a comment, because maybe somebody else has the same question, and then we can all start a little chit chat forum and answer all of your questions. We do recommend that you read our frequently asked questions, that you reach out to us prior to subscribing, to just make sure that this is a service that you are 100% on board with. All right. Well, we can't wait to have you as future subscribers, or thank you for being current subscribers.
All right.
Thanks,
girl.
Bye.